Gonna do a little something different with the blog this time, throw up a little video. It's January 3, 2017, and yesterday it was 69 degrees in Okarche. Today, right now, middle of the day, 29 degrees, wind chill is running about 13, 14 degrees. Winds have been gusting up around 35, 37 miles an hour, so kind of a nasty winter day that you would expect at the first part of January. And we're going to go outside and take a look briefly at the garden, but I'm headed to the greenhouse where things are quite a bit warmer and things are doing pretty good out there. So thought I'd go ahead and give y'all a chance to take a look at that. Start here by looking at these raised beds that are obviously in typical midwinter sad shape. I have been working on them and have been getting rid of weeds in Bermuda that managed to get rooted over the last growing season. And there's some really good dirt here. And what I'm finding out is I've buried down, and the years of prepping these beds and working with them has left us with some really nice soil that I think is going to do very good in the upcoming season. And it's cold out here. I'm going to go ahead and head over to the greenhouse. You can see quite a bit of condensation building up. I water this about every other day. Step in here where temperatures are in the mid 40s and take a look at some things. First of all, in the back here, we got a hodgepodge of stuff. I have a lemon tree back here that we just harvested lemons from, and they were ended up being some excellent lemons this year. I watered this tree excessively, basically daily, the whole time that we had lemons on the tree, and it seemed to work out. The lemons came out really, really juicy, had a really thin rind to them, but they were some excellent lemons, and we harvested those a couple of weeks ago. Orange tree over here looking pretty good, and not a whole lot. It looks like we've got 5 oranges with it this year. These as well have been watered excessively. They're a lot bigger than the ones that we had last year. I think the extra water is really making a difference with those, and we'll probably be harvesting those within the next couple of weeks. I got an avocado tree that's climbing high, doing well. Started a garlic bucket this winter, and that's doing really, really well. The garlic will spend the majority of its life in the greenhouse, and there's a little mouse that's been living out here. He is a tiny thing. Been living out here. Just noticed the other day there's not a whole lot in here for him to eat, except maybe the vegetation, I guess. But I don't store any seeds in here, and he's just kind of sitting there taking a look at me right now. But anyway, the garlic will spend most of its life in the winter inside the greenhouse, obviously, and will be able to be harvested probably in April. And then got a rosemary doing real well here. This tomato plant, this is a beautiful tomato plant. Had some seeds give to us a few weeks back. Started them inside the house on the windowsill, and to be honest, I know nothing about them. I don't know if this is a determinate plant, indeterminate plant. I don't know if we're ever going to get fruit out of it, but it sure is looking nice now, and it's about 2 feet tall. Probably just keep watering it and letting it roll out here in the greenhouse, and hopefully it'll either do something out here or we'll be able to move it out in the spring and let it start producing some tomatoes out there. Some hibiscus. Got a volunteer tomato plant that I pulled from the ground at the end of the fall and moved out here. We've been pulling a couple of tomatoes off of it every now and again. Got some mums that, this mum back here, my wife brought home 2 beautiful pots of mums just before Thanksgiving. And they looked really, really nice, and then they ended up completely dying, as you might expect. And the basically were ready to be thrown in the trash. And I thought, well, I'll try to do something different this year. And I pruned them way back, stuck them out here in the greenhouse, and started watering them. And now they're almost back to as good a shape as they were when she purchased them. At least the white one is. The red one's not doing as good. Got one little bloom back there, but overall the plant doesn't look too bad. And it's just kind of interesting that sometimes you might give things up for dead a little too quick. Prune them, good pruning, a lot of water, and give them a place to grow. And it's amazing how things will return back to their former selves. So that's it. I guess a quick update on why the greenhouse looks the way it looks. The material that is used in this greenhouse really transmits some tremendous heat. It was not uncommon for temperatures in here at times to get 115 to 120 degrees, and it was basically cooking things. And so what I did was took some white spray paint, and over a lot of the primarily south-facing panes, went ahead and covered them up with some white paint, and it seems to have done the trick. Temperatures in here get about mid 80s on a nice day, and definitely not cooking things the way it once was. And the greenhouse is still doing really, really well with just one little space heater, keeping things above freezing and rolling along. And we're about approaching halfway through winter now, so make it a couple more months and we'll start moving some of this stuff outside. That's it. I'm going back in and walk through the 75 feet back to the house of cold weather and just settle in on a cloudy, cold winter day in Okarche.